Hey, all right. Well, the recording stream has started. Yep, and we might get people tuning in soon. I did start it up about 5 minutes early, and so we will go over a couple of things about what this video is going to be about. I'll do a live. Just a quick video to choose the winners of a recent drawing that I told you guys about for this Dickens soap from Barrister and Mann. And I actually, this is Dickens Revisited. It's the newer one instead of the original one. And it was back in early February. And I was working on a chiseled face, probably Loyal. I was working on that soap, and I was really working to try to get a good lather. And as you may know, if you're a faithful watcher, you'll remember that guy requires a ton of soap. And so it ended up to be a long video as I kept working on the lather. And I decided at the end, 40, 50 minutes, near the end, I said, hey, if you are still around, I'm going to give you something. I'm going to have a little giveaway. And I said, go to the comments of this very video, and the last line of your comment needs to contain the word Dickens. You can put it inside the sentence or whatever. Just put Dickens in there somewhere in the last line. And about 6 or 7 guys stayed around and heard that message and did it. And so I've got their names that I'm going to draw from. And so that is the main reason I wanted to create a live video, because then you guys would know that was a more authentic, because if it's a live stream, it's going to be recorded online. And then you know that I'm not picking favorites or anything like that. And so I've got my phone, and we'll be able to use a random website, random drawing, website with those names plugged into it to do the drawing. And very cool. Looks like we've got about 3 people. Tim, welcome. You, Tim, are one of the few, the happy few that are in on the drawing. So that's pretty cool. And I'm just, for those of you joining, I am just talking about the drawing, and then we'll do a shave. I figure while I'm here, I might as well do a shave. And if we only have 2 guys here, no big deal. If everybody wants to cut out and I'm just doing my usual recording, then that's fine too. You know what I mean? All right. So let's go ahead and do the drawing. Why not we do that while we're here? So what I did was I went to a website called randomlists.com, and there's a way to create a custom name picker thing. And then so I have everybody's name who was in the drawing, who abided by the rules there here. And I chose the data set of name picker there. And so I don't know how that makes it different. And so then I can hit the reload button here, and you can see how it changes and picks a random person each time. So the people that are in for it looks like 6 people: Tim Nunez, George Haven, Tim G, first name Ivermectin, David Vincent, and Peter Cook. Hey, Sura, very cool. Glad you could join, man. So I am about to pick the winner of a tub of Dickens soap. It was a giveaway after a long video. I told people to put something special in the comments, and 6 people did it. So we're about to figure out who is going to win it, and then we'll proceed on with a normal shave. So here we go. I am going to hit the button to hit it. Tim, Tim won. All right, there we go. Congratulations, Tim. I have interactions with you on Reddit, and so you PM me with your address, and I'll send that to you. And very cool. All right. Then I have the scent notes right here. We're going to be using Firefighter by Otter tonight. And so that's another reason I've got the I've got that phone there just for reference sake. Yeah, man. And now a couple of goodies. Let's show you what we're going to be shaving with tonight. We have the Otter Firefighter. I've got the PTFE blade with 3 uses on it now. It may actually have 4. And it'll be my first time using the bullet tip by Jim. Looking forward to trying that one. And I will be using, and I've got it soaking, the 1438 from Semogue. It's a small brush, but it really works well. It's the extra grade badger hair, which is Semogue's lower grade badger hair. But to be honest, it really feels kind of good. I think it really is going to be, that's right, sort of just 3 uses. Well, I'm experimenting with single edge blades, and I just don't think I'm going to get into super high numbers with those. But I just started a series where I am going to take this blade right here, however far I can get it. I don't think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be more like, more like 25, 20, something like that, so we'll see. All right. And showed you, yep. And we're good. Now, depending on how I feel after the shave, I might use Tuscany from Sterling as the splash, or I might try this soap, Liniment from Declaration Grooming. Had to check to see if it was an L&L or a Declaration. All right. Hey, Seth, welcome. Very cool. Yeah, I don't think so, sir. All right. Now, let me show you, while I wait for that Boar brush to soak a little bit, a couple of cool things. This is a razor case that I got off of AliExpress. Just like total cost to me to get it shipped to me is about $6 or $7. So pretty cool. Got room for a tuck of blades. And then this is the Anchor charcoal goods handle that I recently got. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. And then you can put the top head right there. And it's kind of got a little microfiber thing there, the faux leather out here. And it seems to do pretty well. For just $6 or $7, magnet right there to keep it closed. I think I like it. I'm also going to get someday one of those spearhead cases as well. I like the look of that also. And then here is something that kind of surprised me. I got a bunch of odd razors in a lot purchase that I bought. And, look at the case. We've got the plastic case. I think we're thinking maybe 60s, 70s, something like that. And this is a Merkur. And it's the slant. It's the Merkur slant. I believe my research indicated it was a 37. And the coloring here. Hey, all right, Mr. Fernandez. You told me how to pronounce your name last time, but I forgot. And you had some cool little mnemonic device, but I forgot that, I'm afraid. And look at the coloring here. It's almost silver on this handle. And I think, and now the top part looks very similar to the current day Merkur slant. It is a 2-piece. The knob stays in. And it's definitely kind of vintage. And I think this guy might actually be better made up. He might be brass or something like that. Better, his machining and the plating is better than current Merkurs, that's for sure. And the finishing is a lot better on the bottom than current Merkurs are. So I'm going to be interested to shave with this guy. And my quick research said it was a 37, and there are 2 different vintage 37s at least. If you see this step down right here and these little undulations on the top cap, then it's the second, the latter one. There is an earlier one where this top cap is very curved. There's not these step down, that sort of thing. So I'm definitely going to be shaving with this slant soon. This has got a nice weight to it. Normally I don't like Merkurs because my only experience with them has been this current series of them that are just zinc alloy pot metal razors, and so I'm not really a fan of those, especially when they're charging so much money for them. All right, so let's get my face wet. No, let's get the razor loaded up with the blade. This may actually have 4 uses on it. I can't remember. This is the gem PTFE. And here's something I noticed. I have another video I just put out, and it shows the clog proof, which has a similar head design. But you know what? This one is the bullet tip, and this whole plate right here is flat. On the clog proof, there's a slight bevel here at the bottom, and then there's a smaller flat area. This one has that dot in the center that's was a gimmick to have you put the dot on your face and shave. But I think the clog proof has that bevel, so you don't have to put the big flat part on your face. So I thought that was very interesting. I think that's probably what it's for. So this has a much larger flat area that doesn't have 2 different angles right here. And so I'm going to try doing that and putting the whole thing flat on my face. The heavens are mute. Hey, man, welcome. All right, so this is what the bullet tip looks like inside. Now, I've heard that the bullet tip is pretty mild compared to some of the other guys, the other single edge. And I just got to make sure that, yep, these 2 corner posts are, the blade's tucked into those. And there we go. All right, get my face wet. And we'll do a 30-second load off of this Firefighter soap. So this is the 1438 from Semogue. I'm going to shake most of the water out. This doesn't hold too much. We're looking at about the 23rd, 24th shave with this brush, and it's pretty comfortable already, so it's going to get even better. All right, so 30 seconds. Where's my little timer there? We're starting at 21, so we'll go to 51. So again, this has the extra grade hairs, bristles from Semogue. Semogue also has a best grade and a premium grade and a special grade. Man, we had enough water in there to really bring up this froth, right? I bet I'll have tons of lather from this. And there we go. Oh, Linus is joined. Very cool. Linus might switch to the gym. There we go. A forehead lather. Rinsing out the side threading on the tub here. Keep it clean. All right. You know what? Forehead lathering. Might have been tempted to do it long ago when I had hair. Hey, HD Shaves is here as well. Jeff. Oh man, this is great. Got all kinds of good guys here. We just did a drawing at the beginning. I had like a 50-minute shave where I was struggling to find out how much soap to use with chiseled face, the new formula that they have. And since then, I've discovered it's basically 3/4 of a teaspoon, 3 times as much as I usually need for other soaps. And the video took a long time because I was kind of troubleshooting the lather and that kind of thing. And so I said, hey, if you're here for this long, let's have a drawing. And so Tim Nunez, he won the drawing earlier on in the video. You know what? I like lathering so much. You know, if I did shave my chest, I might not mind it with having a whole heap of good lather. So we're using Noble Otter Firefighter today. We've got 2 teaspoons in the lather. Let's just take it up to 3. I'm really interested to see what this little brush turns into when these so many of these tips start to split. Mr. Jones, fine soaps at $24. I think I'm fine with that, to be honest, unless it's crap. I don't think it's going to be. It needs to be a really good performer for that much. But I might pay for that for a couple of Fine's fragrances. But if there's no way I'd pay that for platinum. I would just rather get Sterling's Executive Man because it's the same scent. We've got an awesome creamy lather. This brush really dug up. They are, yes, sort of, they are softer. Antigua Barbico, it's the same people who make Goodfellas Smile, I believe, is the company that's doing it. Okay, 4 teaspoons now for this. And so it looks like it's going to be a good base. We thought that it might be TFS once we heard that the maker was in Italy for Fine's soaps. But then somebody, and I assume this is reliable information, I apologize if it's not, but the same people who make Goodfellas Smile are going to do it. He had to switch to a crope style because I guess he couldn't find a hard puck style. And his prices, that is a little bit high. But here's the thing. With me, one of those pucks, if it's like Sterling or Chiseled Face, then one of those pucks is going to last me over a year. And so I don't mind paying $24 if it happens to be for a scent that I really like and can't get anywhere else. But yeah, they are the crope style now. I think that 24th century text that he put on the cover of it, it just doesn't fit the whole classic vibe that he usually has going with his stuff. So I kind of wish he hadn't done that. But there is a scent that he's got in that this lather is just so creamy and sumptuous that I had to add more water. We're at 5 teaspoons now. Don't usually have to go that far. I guess this brush really picked up the soap. Latigo is a scent that he had in the aftershave, but he never put it in the hard puck. And now he's bringing that one in to the soft puck. I know that since I'm such a fan of Fine, I know that I'm going to get one of their pucks eventually. It might be the Latigo just to have something different. Dude, you're exactly right. I don't know what I'm going to do with all my soaps. The last count was like 536. Hey, Peter, welcome. Welcome. Peter is joining from South Asia. Man, look at this. Look at this lather. That's what I'm talking about. Now, on my little screen, there's a whole lot of glare. Can you guys see the lather in pretty good detail? Now let's switch and feel it with my fingers. I don't want to get it too thin. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. Let's add a half. So we're looking at 5.5 teaspoons. So this is Firefighter. It's a light scent, but it's nice. And it went for a good cause. And this brush is so small. If you like Boar brushes and want to take it on a travel, then this is a short one that's going to be easy packing. And it just had such a neat vintage look. I went in and bought it. And then it turns out to be my representative of the extra grade badger hair, boar hair from Semogue. Okay, now 536. I think I've sold a few of my soaps, and so that's probably a number that includes a few that I've sold. But yeah, basically. Hey, man, this is awesome. We're getting all kinds of guys here. Zesty Calco. I bought something from him recently that I've really been enjoying. I think it's a bunch of soaps. All right, I think we're good. I think we're ready to go. Got some nice fluidity. But let's see. South China. See, it's mixed up in my head now, Peter. I think one time I said South Asia, and then you came back with South China, or I said, and I may forever make that mistake now that it's swapped in my head. All right. Oh, hey, he picked up the Pereira bowl. Gotcha. Okay, waiting on it. I'm really interested to hear how that goes for you. I do want to get one of those myself. All right. So for those of you tuning in late, we did a drawing, and Tim Nunez won a tub of Dickens Revisited. I had a long video a month ago, and I said, anybody who's going to stick with me for this long, I'm going to reward you with a drawing, and Tim won it. There were 6 guys who caught on to the little hidden clue. And then I figured, while I was here doing a drawing, it's nighttime. Why don't we just do a shave? Now, see, this is Semogue's kind of roughest hair grade, and it's not. It's not at all. It's soft. I don't know what. It's not scritchy. It's not scratchy. I mean, it's a little scrubby, but this is also just its like 24th use. Oh, nice scent. Still pretty light, but it is part of the shave, and that's all that matters to me. At first, I thought this brush was going to be too small, and it doesn't feel too small on my face. It feels too small in my hands. Working on 2 days of growth tonight. In the never-ending debate between face lathering and bowl lathering, and look, this even needs a little bit more water. One of the things that face lathers like to say is, and I know I'm talking to a whole bunch of face lathers, face lathers like to say is, I like the feel of the brush on my face and I like to experience it. And so if I bowl lather, then I don't get that. I don't know if you guys are watching, but I'm spending a lot of time on my face, and I will continue to work on my face during the shave. And I bet there are face lathers out there who actually use the brush on their face less than I do. So for some people, at least, that rule is not always true. I think we've worked it in well. This is just a wonderful lather. You guys know how good Noble Otter is. And again, we are shaving on 2 days. Oh man, let's look at all that. Ooh. Yeah, that guy. I'll catch up on the texts here. I'm from the Wet Shave Enthusiast from a beer brewing channel. Okay. Semogue 830 is nice. It is nice. It has that small lucite handle or acrylic or whatever material it is, but it's very small. And so I don't use mine very much at all. It was my first Boar brush, and that's the one that taught me about the break-in process. I was so frustrated. And then on the 14th shave, it just came alive, and that taught me about it. Okay, you've used yours a lot. Gotcha. You know what? I just figured gentlemanly restraint until life end. Yeah. Yeah. I just think someday I'm going to change my strategy. I'm going to figure out that, I'll narrow it down or something. I don't know. All right. So we got this gem bullet tip and we're going to use that. And my goal here is to keep this flat part up against my face. And we'll see how everything goes. The blade has 3 or 4 uses on it already. Feels pretty mild. Problem is that flat part being up against your face can actually have some drag with it as that metal moves across your face. So I tend to lift it up just a little bit. But it went very well the first pass. And I'm going to focus on the technique and my angle and not listening or feeling for the cutting. And we'll just see what is left at the end. Now, because of the drag of putting this plate up against my skin, I'm actually having to use a lot more force than I usually do. Usually it's a very light shave, but I have to. It's almost like a vacuum, like a NASCAR car with the downforce pushing down on it as it moves quickly across the track. Bullet tip, yes. I have not tried a 1912 or a Damascene. I do own a Damascene that I need to find and try. I'm looking forward to it someday. Yeah, HD says the bullet tip should feel. So far, it does feel more mild. The proof in the pudding is going to be on that third pass to see if irritation has gradually built up. Okay, Calco's still tinkering with his clog proof. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, this lather feels nice. And then we're shaving off 2 days of growth. I really don't think this razor is going to have a problem with that at all. Although I may have to eat my words because I definitely feel more stubble with this one than I did the other ones. It's possible that I'm keeping that angle too close to the face, but we'll see. Tons of lather here. I did not need to lather this little boar brush for 30 seconds on the Noble Otter. One thing I'm curious about with boar brushes, as the tips split, I know it's going to become softer. That's pretty easy to see, but I'm wondering if there's going to be a perception of density, of increasing because of those tips multiplying. All right. Cross grain now. I'm not really enjoying keeping this dot, keeping this plane close to right on my face because of the razor drag. So I'm going to keep it close, but not flat on there. And we'll just see how that works out. It is moving through the hair easily. Very comfortable. There's definitely drag that I don't experience with double-edged razors. Cross grain now down here. Now here's where I can fail to keep my angle right, so I need to go a little slower. There we go. Oh, now that feels better. That second pass really caught up. I think opening the angle just a little bit got me what I needed. Rinse. All right. Yeah, this is a nice woodsy, pleasant scent. I like it. It's low. It's on the low strength, mild side, but it's really enjoyable. And so that is 3 passes, and we have got a ton of lather still. So maybe 15 seconds of loading with this brush at least next time. All right. Here's the proof of the pudding. How, does this pass feel irritating? Not yet. Feels pretty good. Oh, got a weeper right there, but it doesn't feel like I irritated myself. And after that rinse, after that second pass, the stubble was really mostly gone. So pretty cool. Okay, here's the, oh, look at that. That's really coming out. That'll take a second to stop, it looks like. And tricky spot right here. This was a lot more comfortable at that right there than the clog proof. So obviously, like many wise folks have said, that is this is a more mild razor than the clog proof. Well, here I am at the end of the shave. 3 passes are done. I've got 2 things to think about. Irritation that might be here, and it's not. It's not here. There's a bump on my skin right there, actually. And so that's really why that area has gotten a little nick. And so that's the first thing. And irritation feels really good. Now, how close did I get? Let me get a good rinse and we'll check that out. Now, let's see. Let's get up on the mirror. There are some outlying areas that I did not shave. But other than that, really pretty good. A little bit of length on a few tips. But to have this nice shave with the comfort that I have is really cool. Yeah, so that worked great. The bullet tip, very cool. So the clog proof was more aggressive than the bullet tip. The Micromatic open comb, of course, even more aggressive than that. I've got a featherweight and a G-bar, and HD Shaves tells me that both of those share the same head design, and so they should shave similarly. I believe that they may be pretty comparable with this bullet tip, which is pretty nice. Golden Steel, welcome. All right, you're catching the end. I just finished my 3rd pass. I just finished the rinse, and I checked it out. I did get a pretty good nick right here. Look, that's still bleeding. And I am going to let's use the Declaration Grooming. Try this soap liniment. I need to use this. I was keeping it around because you guys know that it is treasured gold. And I realized, wait a minute, this might go bad. I'm using it so few times. Man, it's really cool that you guys got to join in. So yeah, I've been doing single edges lately the last few times. I have this same blade I had recently in the Blackland Saber. And man, I do enjoy that one. That one with a level 2 is maybe, my cursory guess is, a little bit more mild than this. You know what I like about it? The Blackland does not have the drag. This one has a little bit of drag because of all this metal surface area right here. This is nice. I love the way it looks. I love the, but I think I like the Blackland a little better. I didn't even check the blade gap, to make sure it was not, weird or anything, but nope, everything looks good. So yeah, this is a pretty enjoyable razor. I could use this every day if I wanted, so that's nice. Man, look at that guy. He is still going. There's some kind of bump right there. And this, and that goes to show you, I had pretty good technique right there, but that bump was just sticking up. And what that says is that these are still very nice, sharp blades, but because I don't have any irritation to speak of, that means that this razor was just, and I got the closeness that I really enjoy. That means the edge was just right where it needed to be. Cutting closely, but not providing irritation, not cutting out the skin, but just sticking with the hairs. And that's what we want. All right, well, I've got a ton. Oh man, this liniment smells great. Let me show you a couple of the goodies that I showed you early on in the program. And then, if we have any questions, we can do that. Yeah, see, Linus is talking about shaving with older razors. And yeah, I've got a few old ones myself. It's really, really cool. Now, this is a Merkur. I believe it's a 37. And the top cap will come off. And then everything else is together in one piece. And it's a slant, as you can see. And it's a vintage one. It almost looks like it's silver plated or something because of this. Maybe that's aluminum. I don't know. It's a lighter color right there. It doesn't look like it's chrome plated. But the quality looks actually better than the current Merkurs. And so I'm very interested to try this slant. Of the two different vintage models that I read about, vintage slants, there was one with a totally smooth cap. It didn't have these step downs and these little undulations right there. And that was the first of the vintage slants from Merkur, the first 37. And then they changed the 37 to have these. And so this is the other vintage slant. I tried the 37, the current 37, because I got it in a lot shipment. I didn't do very well with it, but at that stage of the game, it may have been my technique. This one, I don't know, man. I tried to, how old is it? I don't know. I tried to date it. I tried to do a little bit of research. There are no markings except for the Merkur on the bottom. There's just not, I did not find a lot of information about it other than the fact that it was one of the latter of the two vintage Merkur slants. Now it feels like it might be better made materials. It might not be the alloy. It might not be Semogue. I'm really curious about this. It came in this plastic container, and so maybe 60s, 70s, something like that. I mean, maybe before. It doesn't, it just doesn't, it has very few markings at all. That'll be neat to play around with. Ah, yeah, sort of. All right. This is the other thing I showed you guys. If you are looking for travel kits for several razors, maybe you don't want to spend $27 for spearheads. and buy 6 of them. Maybe you do, but if you don't, this guy is available for about $6 or $7 on AliExpress. And it's got a magnet. I've got my charcoal goods every day in there, and it fits. The thicker of the plastic tucks, like the thicker feather one, has a hard time fitting in here. But a normal one, I had a Derby plastic container, and that did fit in. And of course, the paper tucks fit in nicely. And then the blade, the handle. Looking forward to using this handle soon. I haven't used it yet. And of course, it's not going to last you forever because it's, cheap imitation stuff. But for $6, I did pick up 2, and I'm glad I did. I think I like it. Yeah, I think it's just, if you look on AliExpress, it's labeled as just PU razor case, travel razor case. And then visually just look at it. And if it looks like this, then it's probably the same one. You know how AliExpress goes. There are a bunch of stores there. And so you probably find 6 different stores that are selling the same case. And it looks pretty weird when you first get it because they don't form these leather pieces. And so when it came to me, this was actually more of a triangle. But you guys know what happens. Once you put some stuff in there, then it kind of starts to form around the items. And so I think I'm pretty happy with it. Another thing that I use to carry my razors around is a $1 eyeglasses case from the Dollar Tree. There are these ones that look like they're made of neoprene, and I love to use those. There are different colors you can choose from. So, but this is a lot smaller. It's a lot shorter by a couple of inches. Again, about $7 on AliExpress. My favorite modern razor. Hey, Retro Weld, welcome. My favorite modern razor, man, that's a tough one. You've got Wolfman, you've got Carve. I love my Timeless razors. I think maybe my Carve beats out my Timeless. I'm having fun with the Wolfman. I love my Fatip razors. It's hard to say. Those are probably my top guys. Thank you very much for the compliment. Corsten is here. Very cool. Travis. Yeah, AliExpress has got a lot of crap, but they also have a lot of decent stuff if you know what to order. I think it's really neat. You know what I hate about AliExpress? I'll be browsing there on my phone, and it'll be late at night, and I'll be sleepy, and my finger will accidentally touch on something. And apparently it was like fake eyelashes or something. And so they track that stuff. And so now they think I'm interested in fake eyelashes and girl cosmetics and wigs and weaves. And so as I'm browsing, I'll see pellet guns, and I'll see hunting knives and switchblades and fake eyelashes and shaving gear and yaki brushes all together. All right, so don't fall asleep while browsing AliExpress and touch weird stuff. Say, as goes a lesson, don't touch weird stuff. Sugar Daddy Shave says, don't touch weird stuff. All right, well, we are good. This was really a good shave. HD has been a great resource in terms of these single edge razors that I've been having fun with lately. So thanks, man, for that. And it's a whole different world, different feel. So this one really did give me a sensation of drag. I'm gonna take the blade out so I can fool around with it here. And that's because there's no bevel, and I bet that's why with the clog proof, they put a small bevel right here before you get to the main area. I bet they did that on purpose to decrease the drag. Totally wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's right. I have some fake eyelashes on when I'm shaving. Nice. But I think it looks great. I don't know that I'd be able to shave with a clog proof every day because the aggression on my face, it's fine. But right here, oh, hey, I still got to tend my wound. But on my neck, the clog proof usually leaves some irritation. This guy, I was careful and I did not. So that's pretty cool. Excuse me. All right, so now we need to take my little guy and my Sharpie and put a dot on there. I have a, you guys know the Gem Junior, I think it is, that has that fat Bakelite handle. I thought that's what I had, and I did a video previous to today's showing, and as a matter of fact, it was earlier today, I think, and it was showing some of the different single edges that I have. And I showed that fat Gem Junior, and I looked at it to read it, and it wasn't a gem, it was a treat. TREET. That was the brand that was on there. And so it looked like, maybe it's the same company. I don't know. But it was that fat Bakelite handle. It looks like it's going to be really ergonomic as I'm holding it. So I'm looking forward. I almost shaved with that one tonight. If anybody knows how aggressive those are, I'd love to hear about that. And then I also got another one. Maybe it was just this bullet tip that I was going to shave with. Maybe that's all. Maybe that's all the last ones. All right. I'm just going to clean up my gear here. Man, you know what? So Semogue just doesn't make a rough brush. This is the lowest grade hair they have, and there's no scratch or scritch or anything like that. And it's going to get even softer. So terrific. Cool little guy. And because I think he's going to be made for face latherers. He's got a short little handle. Got this great vintage look to him. He's just going to get softer and softer. Wigs, yes. So here's what this guy looks like. Semogue does have some knots that are dyed like this. That's not natural. They do that, from my understanding, they do that on purpose. And they also have some that are not. And that actually helps you to tell the different models apart. Like the 1250 and the 1800 only differ by the fact that the 1250 is undyed and the 1800 has the band of dyed hair, I believe. 1912s are basically the same regardless of the brand name on the back. Okay, so in theory, you could have a gem, star, ever ready, and a treat. Same head. Okay, gotcha. So the 1912 is the one that kind of comes off the handle, goes back, goes up, and then the blade is right there. Okay, so that's basically a 1912. Okay, see, I knew I was talking to the hive mind. If on the off chance HD didn't know it, I figured somebody else would. All right, I'm going to strap this guy on a towel. He doesn't feel as sparse as this on my face. He feels really nice. Excellent flow through. And he is wooden inside, and he's got that painted enamel here. And so if you do soak too close to the handle, the wood underneath will swell, and then it will crack the enamel. But I don't care too much about that. This is a cheap brush, and so it's a great value. And it almost adds to the vintage look to have it be a little cracked. So we'll let that guy dry out. All right, Firefighter is ready to go. And we did use 5.5 teaspoons of water with that one. All right. Treat has a slightly different design on the safety bar. Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. It did look very strange. That'll be fun to try out. Maybe I'll use that tomorrow if I can hold back my desire to try out my Ever Ready with the new handle. All right, very cool. This, man, I love doing this. Anybody have any final questions before we tune out? Anything you want to say to each other? I know that we all have a good time. You don't have to talk to me. You can talk to each other. And so I will dry out my lather bowl. Oh yeah, somebody said I think it was Zesty, who said he got his Pereira lather bowl in. And so I'm looking forward to hearing his report about that. I want to get one of those myself. I need to work on my 3D printing chops and create a design. Hey, Mr. Jones, you're welcome, man. I want to do this basically the same design, but these are kind of sharper ridges than I would like. They're not sharp, but instead of having a ridge that looks like this, I would rather have it be a lot more like a speed bump, to have it be curved at the top. Travis, man, thanks for joining. Have a good night, man. You too. And then I may, like you may have seen some other people with this design, they put some bumps here, 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 and here in the gaps. And I might like to do that too. I don't know whether I'm going to keep this or not. I never use it as a thumb holder. I always hold it by the bottom like this. But it's the perfect design for a brush rest. But because of this bump in the bottom center, I never need to use it as a brush rest. I can always just put the brush diagonal, and the bump keeps the brush from sinking down in the lather. And so it might travel better, something like that, if I were not to have this very cool design that Roger put in to this one. And this works much better than the Pereira or the fine accoutrements lather bowls that have just a straight trough. It's like a half of a cylinder. And because of some brushes might have a big lump right here. Some may have a lump right here. And depending on where that lump is, if you're sitting on a flat surface, then that lump could cause the balance not to be right. But this design is two cradles separate. And so no matter where the bump is, I've never had a brush not fit it correctly. Okay. Zesty, did you get it from the actual manufacturer? Cool. Thank you guys so much for joining. And Tim won the Dickens Revisited. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has already sent me his info. And I'll get that out to you along with a couple extra goodies. We'll do another giveaway sometime. I'm actually going to write Gifts and Care. Yeah. I've just started to see them as a vendor and check them out on a regular basis. I'm actually going to write a web app I've already started the design process to track my soaps that I want to sell, all my gear that I want to sell. And then I'll be able to go in and mark it as, Zesty wants this and Tim wants that. And then it will automatically update it to pending, not on the actual Reddit site itself, but I'll have like a text area and it'll update that. And then whenever I copy and paste that text area into Reddit, that's how I'll keep it updated. And then maybe with these big, long lists of sales, I will be able to keep things a little bit better organized. Tim, yeah, man. All right. I really like the design of the bullet tip. I could use it every day. I still residually, I've got no irritation. This guy stopped bleeding. That's good. I don't have any visual irritation. I'm a happy camper. I'm also experimenting with a beaker. I think there is a 50 milliliter, there are 50 milliliter beakers out there. And my idea is I would fill it all the way up with 50 milliliters at the start of a shave and then just pour during the shave whatever I needed. I could pour fast or pour slow if I wanted to. And then at the end of the shave, you just subtract from the top to know how much you used instead of having to refill syringes. I figure that might be fun to try. And what might be a very important part of getting your blades to go a long time, dry your blades. It could be more important than we think. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Zesty, you're exactly right. It was a much better shave than with the clog proof. The clog proof does just fine on my cheeks because, as we all know, that's a little bit easier to shave. But when I got down to the soft part of my neck here, this area right here, the clog proof gave me some irritation. I was careful with this razor, and even though I was still careful with the clog proof, this one did not give me any kind of irritation right there. So you're exactly right. And isn't that neat? It looks like with the gems, you've got a range. For me, the bullet tip, the G-bar, the featherweight, looks like that might be my area. Of course, the Blackland, the Saber, even on level 1 or level 2, I really get a great shave out of that one. But then if you want more aggression, just migrate up to the clog proof. If you want even more than that, go up to the Micromatic open comb. It's pretty neat to have some different options. All right, Firefighter. Noble Otter, man, what a great base. That went very well. Hey, for those of you, we still got a handful of people here. Tell me, I've got a question for you. I often have the case of the first pass being, and you face latherers, this is probably obvious for you, but for me, since I already have, for you bowl lathers, this is a question for you, because you've already got your lather mixed up. I put it on my face the first pass. It feels a little drier, a little thicker. I don't change anything with the lather. After the first pass, obviously, I rinse. And then I put on that same lather on my face, that second pass, and it's not nearly as thick. It's backed off some. And so often if I find that that first pass is just a little too dry, a little too thick for me, then often I find that the second pass and the third are perfect. Very wet, very creamy. Ah, Seth with the milk steak. Very cool, man. Nice. Milk steak's a great base. Which scent are you using? Very good. I'm glad you got that dialed in, man. Here's another. I just can't. Thank you, Corsten. Am I saying your name right? Yeah, it looks like I am. It looks like I'm reading it properly, at least. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. All right. Hey, if you guys don't know about my little tip with organizing blades, thank you, sir. This is a aluminum credit card wallet, and it's got these expanding pockets, and I think it's just perfect for blades, three on a row. Yeah. You know, somebody on Reddit Wet Shaving had an epiphany maybe a year or two ago with selling almost all of their scented soaps and sticking with some unscented bases. And then their collection was the aftershaves and the colognes. And that's where they got their scent. And I thought that was a neat idea. It's a great idea for some people. Ah, you get the, okay. Nice. Take the unscented, add a drop or two of essential oil just to play around with stuff. That's neat. Where's a good place to get the essential oils? Can you just get them like at Whole Foods or one of those natural type places? I know that I've seen some scented oils like in Walmart, but that's like the candle and potpourri department, right? That's not the right stuff, I would imagine. Amazon. Oh, okay. Got my little tote at the Dollar Tree, and I carry my stuff back and forth. And hey, to keep my brush fibers from getting tangled up in here, I took a toilet roll and I stuffed some toilet paper in the bottom of it so that when I put my brush in, the hairs keep up and don't get messed up. See, I have to pick the stuff that I am stingy about. I have a ton of soaps. I have expensive razors. But then I buy my razor carrying goodies at the Dollar Tree. Okay. Walmart probably has them. Very good. Thank you. Amazon as well. No, with Peter, he gets thicker as he goes. Gotcha. Okay. All right, very good. We're about to put the brakes on. This has been terrific, man. I love talking with you guys. In a way, I wish everybody could just have their voices going instead of just typing, but I guess it is what it is. Yes, Tim, I'm very frugal until I'm not. Exactly. Well, that's what lets me enjoy the decent stuff, right? All right. I think we're good, man. This has been great. You guys, thank you. Tim, congratulations. I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys. Oh, a warning about essential oils on AliExpress. I have noticed that you really kind of have to know your stuff before you order from them. Hey, I do not know how to pronounce the seemingly Cyrillic Russian name that just popped up, I'm afraid. But I think I recognize it. I believe I've replied to a few of your comments on YouTube. And I remember you asking some good questions. Okay, Peter, gotcha. Dodgy essential oils on AliExpress. So just be wise, be careful. Be careful with that. Excellent. All right. Did I guess right? Is that Russia? Is that where you're connecting from? I have a close friend who speaks Russian. Unfortunately, I don't. Some of the letters almost look Greek, but it's not. I studied Greek in college. All right, guys. I think we're going to call it a day. Really enjoyed the shave. Noble Otter, just terrific bass. And I'll be shaving with this vintage Merkur slant sometime soon. Upcoming shortly will be the next day or two, a saber from Blackland. I'm going to continue using this blade with it. I will be using this blade until it's done, and it shouldn't take too long because I don't think I'm going to get 100 uses out of these single-edged gem blades like I do with DE blades. And so I think we're going to hit the cap there relatively in just a couple of weeks, instead of a couple of years, right? Upcoming, I've also got the Everyday with a cool anchor handle. I'm also playing around with different blades to try to find what works well in my Fatipolo Storto razor. I'm also trying to find a really good blade in my 46 or 54, I can't remember, WR1 from Wolfman. There we go. So those are some things coming up on my channel. All right, Linus, thanks so much. It's good to see you on here. Peter, yeah, man, take care. Southern China, that is where you are. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll sign off. Take care, everyone. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.